Hello, this is Karen, and today I am going to talk about altered dominoes. I probably can't get it all in that 10-minute span, so I'll probably break this up into at least 2 videos. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of go over what I've done with the swap I last did with the altered dominoes and the techniques I used for that, and then next, after that, I'll kind of go over other techniques that I think are kind of cool. So right now I'm going to talk about mostly alcohol-based inks. So what you got is you got your Copic markers, so you got a bunch over here. And these are the really wide ones. I love these things. They color ribbon and wide swaths of whatever. Anyway, this is a very popular markers to use to do dominoes. I want to put them over here right now. Also, another thing is the alcohol inks. These are very common to use to help color dominoes. All these are really is those Copic markers. There's a bunch of other alcohol-based ink markers now. They're not just the Copics, but this is just basically the ink they do use in there. All right. And when you use those, you also have to use this. This is really great to use. This is the blending solution. It kind of thins out the inks. It revitalizes them if they dry out, because they do dry fast. And what I like to do is I like to put it in a spray bottle. I usually have these bottles around somewhere in the house, scattered around. So I like to put them in here, and that way you can spray on large surfaces and it's a nice even coat. If you don't have any of those, have no fear, because what you can also use are Sharpies. These also, I'm not exactly sure if they're alcohol based, but I think they are. If not, they have the same properties. So you can use these Sharpies. And you can use these. I have a Faber-Castell here. Oh, these are great. I like to edge the dominoes in these gold foil. Well, not just gold, but these foil pens. Where's that? There we go. This is my favorite color, the red shimmer. This is a nice steampunky kind of color. And these are paints. You can always tell they're paint if they kind of shake and rattle when you shake them like that. And speaking of paints, then you can also go for paint markers. Here's some Sharpie ones, and use these for the dominoes. So those are the most common things to use. What else you want to use is another handy thing is rubbing alcohol. Now the rubbing alcohol actually works just like the blending solution, except well, one, it's a lot cheaper, but you know, it also clears. If you don't like what you did on the domino, you can just wipe it right off with this as well as this. The only difference I notice, and it's an important difference, is that you know, rubbing alcohol, of course, dries immediately when you put it on. This tends to sit a little while longer, gives you more time to work with it. So the evaporation takes a lot longer on these than this. If you use a rubbing alcohol, a friend of mine, Bonnie, told me to use like the 91%, or there's a 70%, I think. That's the usual kind of medical one. And then they also have the 91%. Use this one. The smell is not as bad. Huh? Dirty. So, yes, best to use these. This, a lot less stinky. And then the next thing I like to use a lot of is the glossy accents. This is my glue for metalwork or any other things you want to stick on. Okay, so I use this. I also use the matte gel. There are a couple brands carry the matte gel. The matte gel is great for dominoes in terms of, let's say you want to just use regular acrylic paint on the dominoes. You put this on, it gives a little tooth. to that shiny surface, and then you could paint over it, and the paint won't bead up and everything. Another great thing to use, I use this for almost any mixed media I work with, is the Workable Fixative. What this does is, let's say you do the alcohol ink on the base, and you like the way it looks, and then you want to put another layer of alcohol ink or some other ink on top, but you don't want this one to smear. If you don't want the first layer of anything to smear, whether it's charcoals or inks or anything, you just put a nice quick spray of the Workable Fixative, and it'll keep that layer that you sprayed over to keep it from shifting or moving or blending or anything like that. So this is really great stuff. I use this a lot. It's almost empty. If you don't want to use the glossy accents, the glossy accents a lot of people also use to put on top of the domino when they're done coloring it to protect it, and because alcohol inks can come off if you don't put a top layer on. So a lot of people use this, and this is also another nice one to use, is a spray glaze. Okay, now the spray glaze will look like, so this is a spray glaze. I don't know if you can see it. It's an even coat. It's got a little bit of that, you know, spray paints have a little bit of that grain to it. It's got a little bit of that, but it's thin and even. Now if you use the glossy accents, it looks more like this. It's a thick coat. Very shiny though. It's a very shiny, thick coat. Okay? So we got those. You know, I can't believe I'm at 7 minutes already. Alright. Now somebody asked me about filling in the holes, so I try to do that. I tried it in two ways. I tried to do it, this one I tried to fill in with this enamel accent. I like these. This looks just like enamel when you put it on anything. I don't know if you can get that. Anyway, so I put that on the red one here. And then after I did that, I re-inked over it, then put the glossy accents on. And you can see, I sanded it too afterwards, and it still is a little bit of a hole. This one, I just tried using the pearl pens. A number of companies make different pearl pens, and I thought maybe if I fill it in with that. Let me tell you, I don't know where this stuff goes when you fill in these holes, but I put on a coat, and then when I was thinking it was drying, it would dip down, and like 4 or 5 times I put this thing on. I don't know where it goes, but it still sinks down. And even now you can see it's still sunk in there. So I put that in, and then after it dried, sanded it down, and as you can see, it was still below the plane, even though I had it beat up a little when I filled it. So go figure. But you know, to be honest, I don't fill in the holes. I just leave them on the others if I'm working on this surface. I know some people put so much stuff on the surface of the domino that they could put it where the holes are because you don't see them. But you don't see them anyway if you're working on one surface here. So anyway, that's my take. So usually, yes, you don't want to do a domino. I just keep it there. This has a little spinner on it, which can be fun to play with, spinning it on the table, but it's kind of hard to work with in terms of mixed media. Alright, and let me also say, for this domino, I made this is the first time I did polymer clay, and I love polymer clay. I decided it's a lot of fun to work with. You can stick all kinds of things in there. This and this little guy. I love this turtle. Although you could tell that I haven't really worked with the polymer clay that much because some parts of him are smushed. You know, I didn't know how to work it without smushing other parts and stuff. But I had a lot of fun with him too. And I stuck all this on with the glossy accents. And look at that. I love that. Anyway, these, I got these ideas from Well, unfortunately not for my head, I wish. But, oh, I'm trying to get the book. If you look at this book here, this is the book I use, and it's this artist, I'm not going to try to pronounce her, Christy Friesen. She's great. She does wonderful things with polymer clay. I saw her website and everything, but I mean, it's just, I mean, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, so this is a great book if you want to play with polymer clay, and it's kind of entertaining to read too. She gives you instructions. That little porthole guy is straight from the instructions. The turtle I got, there's a picture that looked a lot like him in here, so I just tried to copy it. But she gives really good instructions. She writes entertainingly, so I highly recommend this. Anyway, but we're not going to talk about polymer clay today. So, let me put that away. Alright. So how do you do a domino? Well, we're going to start with doing the very common method of the alcohol inks and using felt and a little dabber thing, okay? So, the first thing you want to do is you want to take this and you want to clean it with the alcohol, okay? So I just get a paper towel, love my paper towels, and use this. Alright. So I wipe it down, okay? Make sure all the oils are off of it. Now, the next thing you do, okay, get a clean one. I just buy some felt and I cut it into squares. I know they sell them pre-cut, but I'm cheap. So put that on, and then let's see, let's make, what you could do is, let's try green. I did a lot of blues. I don't think I want to do blue. And you just start putting some, some dots on here. The color you want most of, like I'll put 2 dots of the color on the pad. Anyone that I want more like an accent color, I'll just put 1. So, and, oops, that's the wrong one. I want the copper. Okay, this is copper. The metallic, they don't call them alcohol ink, they call them, there you go, mixatives. You gotta shake them, and you know they're not gonna shake until, there you go. Get a little ball in there. Alright? Alright, so, and then, let's say I have those Copic refills and stuff. You can use Copic marker refills or any other alcohol marker refill. I'm going to use orange, why not? And that's not a refill, that's a marker. There we go. So these are just like I said, the alcohol inks. Okay. So I'll just take the refill and just put another one. Okay. Now to get this all, you know, it depends how intensely you want the color, alright? So if I want the color just as is, I can dab it, and it's a, see? And you kind of twirl and work it how you want. Now see, I think this is garbage. Okay, it's too much of the copper, although the copper does dry nice and shiny. So, let's say I hate this, okay? So if I hate that, I'll just get some of my alcohol or that alcohol blending solution. Alright, and then I'll just wipe it right off and try again. Okay? Or, you could take, let me do this first. You could take the bottle of the blending solution, and if you spray it on, I don't know if you can get this. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah, it's kind of starting to bead up and separate, and alright, but it still looks like garbage. So if anyway, so then I put some alcohol on the paper towel. Let's say I hate it all. And see, this is how fun it is. Just wipe and it's all clean. See, you got to go about this stuff like with the mentality of, you know, when you're a kid and it's recess time. And you know, you just go and you play in the sandbox. You don't have any plans on what you're going to make or anything when you go in. You just go in and you play, and then you end up with something really cool. And this is, you got to go in with that sandbox mentality when you do this stuff. You got to make it fun, and just don't get too, don't get too worked up with it all. So here we are, we're in the sandbox. I like the yellow, that's why I'm kind of angling more towards the yellow. There it is. Alright, that's more fun. Okay? There. And if you notice, it'll dry really quickly. Okay? And let's say I just want to, this is also used to have it kind of blend more, and there you go. Blend and dilute, alright? So that's how you can do it. And with this one, I used the blue, the copper, like 2 shades of blue and a green and a copper. And I got this one. And this one, I got a, where'd it go? It's hiding. Anyway, this one is a couple of browns, alright? So like I got that brown, and I got this brown, and the copper. And then it wasn't a deep enough color, so I just added a drop of the cranberry. And then it got that nice kind of steampunky color, see? Like that. Now, a very quick way to edge these is to get the foil pens. I'll use gold today. Okay. And then just mix a nice coating. These dry relatively fast too. So if you just go all the way around. Isn't that nice? Okay, this camera's, I have to have it on a very strange angle, so I apologize. I'm trying to work with it here. There we go, and everything's beautiful. There. See that? Cake. Absolute cake. Alright? Ta-da! You could also use a actual metal foil. That's what I did here. See? I used a stamp, put some glue, that that metal foil kit comes with a thing of glue. Glue the stamp, stamp it. I did a harlequin, and then you put the metal foil on it. Get a nice kind of distressy look. I used the red shimmer on this one. And then what you can do after that is you can either use like rub-ons, put rub-ons on top of it. Some of this would be cool. Or you can get a stamp. Okay, get a stamp. You can get some ink. You can use an archival or the that Versamark. I use this stamp a lot. Doesn't matter if the stamp's wider. Remember, sandbox mentality, okay? It'll all work out in the end. And then just push. See? And there you go. There's a start of a beautiful, beautiful domino. Alright? You can see I already drilled the holes. Oh, no, not in this one, sorry. You cannot see that I drilled the holes in that, but I did in this one. So I can make a necklace. I put charms down here, see? And you just use a regular, use a regular drill. This is a, I think it's a 1/16 drill. Alright, so It's as easy as that. Get some blingies. You know, maybe blingies like this. Let's see. I think I'll go for this size. Put that puppy dog right in the middle. Ta-da! And then just keep building from it. There's all kinds of things you can do. So that's how you start it out. Now, what I could have done after the gold foil, actually I did. I gold foiled it and then I sprayed it with the clear glaze. And please spray it ventilation because it stinks so bad. Anyway, and then I put the stamp on, and then at that point I would probably spray it again before I put the gems on, because the gems do get a little cloudy if you coat them, you know. So anyway, so that's the start of that. You can see I already colored the back there. I usually put my name and YouTube name, blah blah, on there, any info. What else you can do? You can oh, somebody asked me. Let me get another domino. Somebody asked me about a technique for one of the dominoes that I did. Okay, so I'll show you guys that. And it's really easy. It looks complicated when you're done because nobody knows how you did it. It's real easy. You go and you get one of these. These are great. They're called Dazzles. They're Dazzle stickers, and they're very thin, very thin line kind of stickers. So what you do is, you see there's all kinds of themes. This one's a nice two-toned one. You pick them off, okay, and you stick them on, and then you color them in. So I'll show you that one. That one. Let's see. I will pick. See, I did the butterflies on the one I did. Well, let's just do that one. That's the easiest one. So what you do, just pick this off, okay? Oops. There we go. Okay. Got a little sticky on there. You can use negatives too, so. Okay. And all you do is you put this on. Like this. Okay? Ta-da! Alright. After you got that on, usually I like putting a whole wing on the front, but that's alright. We're going to go with the flow. Sandbox, right? Alright. There. See how it wraps around? That's pretty cool, yeah? And then what you do is, there are these two types of pens, okay? They're called Glaze pens. Let's see if we can get one that you can actually read. Anyway, these are Glaze. Oh, maybe you can read. Oh yeah, you can read this one. If I can stop dropping it. All right, Glaze. Or these you'll see through. Okay. These are called souffle pens. Okay. These are opaque. So it depends if you want the clear or the opaque. Alright.